तो समय होता है, संयोग होता है, and I wanted to do something different. I wanted to go somewhere, different than what was being designed for me. I mean, I gave up my university studies because I wanted to pursue the field of art. So I went to Mumbai, but before I could join the JJ School of Arts, I happened to see a film shooting and I realized that this is the call. And I decided to become a filmmaker. Well, the journey so far has been exciting. I have enjoyed every single day of my life, work, learning, which continues even today, and I think every day is very exciting. I mean, it's working. It's either conceiving, writing, or shooting, or post-production, or films release, or creativity, and every kind of thing, because filmmaking involves a whole lot of craft, art, marketing, all kinds of things. There are no such defining moments. I mean, I can only say that whenever you do a film which works with people, it is like telling a story which, has a recipient on the other side. Whenever that happens very well, you feel pleased that, things have worked. And when it doesn't happen, you feel that let's learn more and let's try better and let's work harder so that, it succeeds. So that's the process which goes on, and I am still kind of trying to make some good films. I've done a few films, and I hope that it's worked with people, but the hunger for doing better films, more entertaining, more kind of like inspiring, is something which I continue to look for. See, you don't plan like that, because my stories or the stories that I tell are stories of the heartland, and of course I love Northeast and the beauty of Northeast, and I'm not so familiar with the culture. I mean, every time I come, I'm surprised by the art and culture and music and acting and people and the language and everything. So I think as a location, whenever I have a story to be told in the mountains, I definitely will like to shoot in the Northeast. But stories of Northeast, I'll be happy to assist, help, but must be told by, I think, people who understand Northeast better than I do. I don't make films against this or that, or with any kind of evidence. I find stories. A society is a huge cauldron. Things keep happening at various levels in various institutions of the society, and there are times when some of these stories, some of the happenings, they attract my attention, and consciously, subconsciously, unconsciously, you begin to compute them. You turn them into a story, and it becomes kind of like mature enough to be shared, and that's what I do. I mean, I am not necessarily kind of raising a flag against any kind of social evil, because society is like that. There is good, there is bad, there is ugly, there is everything in the society, and that's what is interesting about the society. So for me to be able to get these stories and share them with people, and of course, like if during the process of telling the story there are some equations which I happen to understand, then they get shared, and if the audience, apart from being entertained, takes a thought back home, then that's a bonus for me. Well, of late, from what has been happening, that there are films with female lead oriented films which have worked, which have succeeded. But that apart, I mean, the fact remains that as in society, so in cinema. You know, the malehood or the patriarchal kind of attitude in society reflects in the cinema as well. But I think eventually the audience, you know, takes the story. If the narration is good and if the story makes sense to them, I don't think it really today matters whether it's a female lead or a male lead. No, I don't think I had any strong voice at the FTA because I was not involved in that, and I didn't have an opportunity to express. Firstly, because I was not able to study and understand the whole situation. But the general understanding that the institute should have, you know, a kind of a head or inspirational guidance from someone, that of course persists. But as far as censorship is concerned, I always have felt that the Indian society is matured enough and it never needs a censorship, you know, to censor anything. Now I think, you know, they are working towards creating a classification of films or entertainment stuff. So that I think is a better idea. But as far as functioning of the censor is concerned, I think there is much desire to be done. But I don't really kind of like, you know, think there are some people who appreciate and like my work, but I don't believe in this whole kind of fanship of, you know, people, because people should not always like me. They should like only when I do some good work and something which appeals to them. But, you know, to all the young people, I always keep saying that never stop dreaming, because if you don't dream, you will never be able to kind of like, you know, achieve what you want to. So keep dreaming and keep working towards, you know, making sure that the dream becomes real.